Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Want to take some time to talk a little bit about recruiting. We said it was going to be a busy July, and I feel like some of us are starting to lose patience. We're saying, when are the decisions coming? When are things going to go our way? You know, we've landed a couple. Landed Braylon Staley, 4-star wide receiver at the end of June. Just recently landed 4-star offensive tackle William Satterwhite back on July the 7th. Also missed a couple of targets. Ronan O'Connell, Elijah Rushing choose to go elsewhere. Right now, Tennessee has 16 commits in the class of 2024, sitting 11th according to 247 Sports. I think they're around 12th over at On3. So what does Tennessee have to do to finish out this month strong? Look, there are some targets that are out there. The next one scheduled to commit is 4-star running back Braylon Russell. We're going to be covering that live on the channel, 7 p.m. Eastern time on Friday. I've been telling you guys 6. It's actually 7. He was in the central time zone, so there's some miscommunication there. But be ready for that one coming up likely next. You never know, somebody may announce a commitment time. We will try to cover that as well. But I want to talk about a tweet. This came out from Boo Carter earlier in the weekend. You can see there on the 8th a couple of days ago. Boo Carter is one of those guys, when he got in the boat, we said he was a peer recruiter. He is a guy that people flock to. Boo Carter tweets out, I want Mike Matthews, Ryan Wingo, Amari Jefferson. He also wants Bennett Warren, Camarion Franklin, Kai Bates, Jordan Ross, and he wants to flip DeMello Jones. We're going to get into it. We're going to break down this list and see if some of these guys will jump in the boat. Does Tennessee have an opportunity to finish out the month of July strong and set themselves up for a top 5 class? We're going to talk about it. As always, do me a favor, smash the thumbs up just below the video. That is quick, free, and easy. It helps the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. We're not talking at you. We're talking with you. We're building a community of Tennessee fans right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. So make sure you subscribe, click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video live every single Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, playing some NCAA football. That's just a disguise. We really jump on here and talk about all things Tennessee. So come hang out tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Let's jump into it. Let's talk about the first target on the list. And I think this is one that all of us are waiting to pull the trigger. And once he does, I think that creates a little momentum, a little excitement. Look, anytime you get a 5-star into the boat, that creates some excitement around the fan base. Also going to give you a little bump in the ratings. What does Tennessee have to do to land a top 5 class in 2024? I think it starts with 5-star wide receivers Mike Matthews. He's scheduled to make a decision likely mid to late July. So does that mean, he'll let us know, or does he just pop off and commit and put it out on Twitter and the fan base goes nuts? Tennessee in a very good spot here. I think Tennessee leads. I think Mike Matthews is in the boat sooner rather than later. You see the On3 recruiting prediction machine. We've talked recently about what Chad Simmons has had to say, what Steve Wiltfong has had to say about the 6-foot, 180-pound wide receiver out of Georgia. Again, I think Tennessee is in a very good spot there. So let's move on to the next one. He mentions 5-star wide receiver Ryan Wingo. Where is Tennessee at in this one? This one has kind of been all over the board. At one point, Tennessee led. At one point, Tennessee trailed. Just recently, Steve Wiltfong over at 247 Sports puts in the crystal ball for the 5-star wide receiver to end up at Texas. The bottom line is this one's got a long way to go. Ryan Wingo is in no hurry to make a decision. This is not something that's going to get done in July or August. Likely that his decision is going all the way into December. Now, why it's not over, why that is a true crystal ball prediction and not a spoiler, is because we're a long way from that decision. And Tennessee is going to have an opportunity to swing on Ryan Wingo. He plans to take an official visit to Knoxville during a game this coming fall. So Tennessee still has a shot there. I would say I feel a whole lot less confident in Ryan Wingo than I do in Mike Matthews. And then also this guy right here. I think Tennessee has a shot to go and land Amari Jefferson. Scroll back up to the profile here. 4-star wide receiver. Why is he important? He is an in-state kid. You see there the profile on the screen out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. He's a guy that's already committed to Tony Vitello in this baseball program, but Alabama very deep in this thing. Sounds like it's a Tennessee-Alabama competition, Tennessee-Alabama battle. I haven't seen a time frame on Amari Jefferson when he plans to make a decision, but I think it is likely a summer decision. You guys can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong on that one. But look, the VolQuest guys, they say they feel like it's close, but Tennessee's out front. The Alabama moderators over at On3 say that it's close, but they feel like Alabama is out front. So how does this one play out? And that's how, when you talk about getting a top 5 class, right out of the gate, Boo Carter's talking about 3 different wide receivers. 2 of those are 5 stars. One of those is a very highly rated 4-star. Can you land Jefferson and one of the 5 stars? I think that sets you up to be in a good position. It's something we talked about when Austin Price was on the show. You're not going to land all of them, but you got to land your fair share. You can't strike out. J.J. Harrell decommitting. That was not a problem because you immediately followed up with 4-star Braylon Staley in the boat. I like Braylon Staley's game. We've done a film breakdown on him. Go check it out. Did an interview with him. If you missed the commitment video, go back and watch the Braylon Staley commitment video. Loved speaking with that kid. Very well-spoken, very respectful. He is going to fit well in the culture at Tennessee. So now I think if you can go land Matthews, Amari Jefferson, maybe you find somebody to fill the void if Ryan Wingo goes elsewhere, and I think you're going to be just fine at the wide receiver position. A priority target on Boo Carter's list of guys that he wants in the boat, that is Bennett Warren, the 4-star offensive tackle out of Texas. It was all Michigan early. All Michigan early. They've taken a ton of offensive linemen. Most recently, they had a 4-star offensive tackle that chose to go to Georgia. So does that open up the door for Michigan to sneak back in here? He is expected to make a decision in mid-July. I think he loved his visit. I think he loved his visit to Tennessee, and I think Tennessee set themselves up nicely here for the 4-star offensive tackle. But I think this is a priority target. When you talk about whether or not Glenn Ellerbe can close, he needs to close the door on this one. You've got Max Anderson in the boat. You've got William Satterwhite in the boat, a couple of 4-star interior offensive linemen. You've got Gage Ginther, who a lot of people think is underrated. We'll see how his career plays out, but I think Bennett Warren is a priority target. Glenn Ellerbe, Josh Heupel, they need to close the door on this one. Moving right along, just speaking of closing the door and recruiting on the defensive line, a guy that I trust more than anybody to get the job done is Rodney Garner. Let's talk about 4-star or 5-star if you look at 247 Sports, defensive lineman Camarion Franklin. I think, again, a priority target. Somebody else that I'm not going to put the profile up that Boo Carter mentioned is Jordan Ross. So you've got 5-star defensive lineman Cam Franklin, 5-star edge rusher Jordan Ross. I think you got to land these guys. I think the way you've missed on Williams Winery, you missed on Elijah Rushing, you missed on Cam Fountain, you're running out of those top-ranked targets. Again, going back to the saying, you got to land some of those guys. Well, you can't strike out on all of those guys. You've got to get Camarion Franklin, Jordan Ross, priority targets. And again, we're talking top 5 class. I'm not saying the sky is falling and it's over if you don't get Franklin and Ross. I trust Rodney Garner is going to get his. He is going to develop his, and we are going to have success on the defensive line. But I think these 2 guys are priority targets in Camarion Franklin and Jordan Ross. Ross kind of all over the place, says he could commit now, could commit later, may silent commit. I don't know. He also tweeted out shortly after this tweet, I may go ahead and make my commitment at any time. So who knows what's going to happen with Jordan Ross. As far as Camarion Franklin goes, it could also be anytime. Sounds like it is a Tennessee-Miami battle. Ole Miss trying to get in the mix there. But I think, again, those are a couple of targets that Tennessee needs to land. If they're going to have any shot at a top 5 class, you've got to get Mike Matthews in the boat. You've got to get Bennett Warren, Amari Jefferson. You have to add Cam Franklin and Jordan Ross. That would give you 3 5-stars over at 247 Sports in the class of 24. And I think that would shake up pretty nice. We're close to a top 5, top 7 class, and I think that's going to be just fine for Josh Heupel with where they're at right now. A couple of other guys that Boo Carter mentioned in his tweet, 4-star corner Kai Bates, late July decision incoming. I think the fact that Tennessee held off the official visit from LSU, did a good job, didn't commit, still likes Tennessee. I like where they are at there. And then also he mentioned 4-star corner DeMello Jones, committed to Georgia back in March, but continued to visit, continued to enjoy the process, been on campus a lot. He was here for 865 Live with Boo Carter. That would be a huge one. If you find a way to flip DeMello Jones, and you've already got Caleb Beasley, the number one player in the state of Tennessee, in the boat, and you land Kai Bates, you're talking about back-to-back classes with guys like Ricky Gibson, Jordan Matthews, Christian Conyer, Kai Bates, DeMello Jones, and Caleb Beasley. That is a solid haul for 2 years of elite corners. I think a couple of those guys are going to develop in Tennessee would be just fine. But I wanted to rattle off those names. I know I threw a lot of information, but a lot of information on the screen for you guys to take in. What do you think? How do you grade Josh Heupel on this class of 24 right now? And how do you feel he needs to finish July? Look, we've got a lot of decisions coming up. All the guys that I mentioned in this video, plus Braylon Russell, coming up on Friday night. We will be live at 7 p.m. Eastern time, taking you all the way up to the decision. Edwin Spillman, four-star in-state linebacker, also scheduled to make a decision in late July. Tons of targets out there. Tennessee currently since 11th, and they've got 16 guys in the boat. I think the next 2 weeks are going to show us what this class could end up being. But jump into the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. As always, you guys know where the merch is at. The link is in the description below. Also, shout out to the members of the channel. You want to support the channel for $1 a month. Hit the join button down below. Custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, access to fan call-in shows, all kinds of fun perks and benefits. But that's going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.